Just remember that Pop Culture Minefield, when it's discussing rumors, are just rumors. You have to take them with a grain of salt.
From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gerry Kissel.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Pop Culture Minefield. That's Keith.
And that's Gerry.
And we are here to talk about some nerdy nerd stuff, I think. I got some links here from Keith earlier, and just take it over, man. What are we talking about here?
Well, today it's the day that a lot of fans like myself have kind of really come to expect that we would eventually hear what happened with Ben Affleck and the Batman.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that earlier today.
Yeah, and so what has happened is that that news is finally broken, and it's part of a great interview with the New York Times. And this is a no-holds-bar interview with Ben Affleck about everything. Okay, he goes into detail about his drinking. Mainly, all of his problems are due to the fact that he has an alcohol or had an alcohol problem.
Right.
He still technically does. I mean, he's an alcoholic. But it details everything about how it went wrong with his marriage, to how a lot of the pressure that he had in coming off of, Batman v Superman, going into Justice League, and then all of the stuff surrounding Justice League with, making the movie and then not having a director, having another director come in, reshooting whole parts of that, and then just all of the stresses that come from not only doing all of that, but also writing the script for the Batman movie, and then the pressure of having to also, be its director and its star. And that's just a lot of pressure to put on somebody that was experiencing a lot of problems.
Yeah, because like in part of the interview, I recalled he said that, when it all started, I was just drinking normally. And then he was talking about how it kind of escalated while they were making Batman versus Superman, and it just sort of, or was it just?
Yeah, well, he said it escalated due to his, the more problems he had in his marriage, the more he drank.
Right.
So it was really his home life that kicked off a lot of things. That isn't to say that there wasn't any pressure in any other areas, but basically what the picture that we have painted for us is that he was just getting it from all sides. And there was he could have, as he says in the article, he could have done the movie, but he would have been out of control, well out of control. And it would have just taken a toll on him that I don't think he was smart enough not to go down that road. Now, I know that's not what a lot of us fans of Ben Affleck's Batman wanted to hear. I'm glad.
I got to be honest, though.
Right.
I kind of suspected that was what the problem was. I mean, just everything was. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. It's sad because against the grain, I liked his Batman. I liked him as Batman. He
was good at it.
Yeah, he was.
He's really good at it. And again, he's not one of these people that got named to the part that, everybody universally thought, oh, he's going to be fantastic. No, but for those of us that liked it from the moment that we heard it, and those that didn't like it when they initially heard it, but got on board once they saw Batman v Superman, this is amazing. And this is one of the reasons why I think so many people are just down to see Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. Because,
which I'm still hoping they put on
I know, but
HBO
let me
Max.
reemphasize, because there are still a lot of you out there that don't know this. The film Justice League only has about 10 minutes of footage that was actually shot by Zack Snyder. So a majority of what that movie is really Warner Brothers telling Joss Whedon what to do.
Right.
So you're getting Warner Brothers' version of it. And so really a lot of people haven't seen what Zack Snyder would do. You were only seeing 10 minutes of it. So that's the reason why there are so many of us that want to see it. Now, well, is it currently in a form that everybody could watch?
We don't know at this point. Well, we believe it is.
Nobody knows.
But fact is, I think it's going to come out with HBO Max. Moving on.
Yes, we hope.
What do you want to talk about next? Because you sent me something about Predator and about Doc Savage.
Yeah. Basically, Dark Horse has announced that they have gotten a hold of the alternative 1987 script to Predator. Okay, the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that everybody loves to quote. And well, there was another script that they almost went with that wasn't quite what became the movie that we saw. And they're going to turn that into a comic, which they're already talking about doing with Alien also.
Well, this is interesting because this reminds me of doing the original script for Star Wars, and turning that into a comic.
I think it's a really cool thing to do because it allows, first of all, those of us that are really big and deep fans of this stuff to see an alternative take.
Well, I've always been curious, in particular about Alien, because I knew Ron Shusett, and I used to talk to him all the time about the changes, and he said, by the time Ridley Scott got a hold of it and brought his screenwriter in, it became something different. But they kept the bare skeleton of what they had written and created their own atmosphere, because originally a lot of what took place in the Prometheus was borrowed from part of the original Alien script. And Ridley's done that recently because like the opening of Blade Runner 2049 is actually the original opening that Hampton Fancher wrote for Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, where Deckard catches a guy out on a farm. And so he repurposes. So that's really cool that they're doing that. So what's this about Doc Savage? I'm looking at it right now over on Deadline.
The other big news is that Sony Television is now slated to try to adapt the Doc Savage pulp novels, which were written by Missouri's own Lester Dent, as a television series, which, in my opinion, might just be the way to go. But this is now this is coming now on the heels of a year out since they were lucky enough to get the Russo brothers' first major non-MCU project, which was their adaptation of the Image comic, The Deadly Class.
Well, my concern is, will they be true to the novels? Because they have a tendency of...
We'll see.
I mean, they're mildly
but that's the thing. I was trying to transition also into the other thing that they did, because again, Sony TV, Sony Entertainment Television, they got the Russo brothers in Deadly Class, but also last year they got one of the big streaming hits of 2019, which was The Boys, and that's also theirs. Now, The Boys, the distribution part of that went to Amazon, but who actually had the deal and made it was Sony. So Sony has two comic book adaptations right there, and now they're going with Doc Savage as a series, which to me, as a fan of those books, I cannot wait to see. Now, is this going to be, who are they going to cast? Who's definitely going to play Doc? Could be anybody's guess as long as they're good. Let's not see any of this modernization stuff. This has to be
a period
in the
piece.
right time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will catch. The thing that I like about Doc Savage is if people pay attention, they're going to catch the distinct connection between it and Superman?
Oh, not just Superman, James Bond, Batman, a lot of modern day heroes owe a debt to Doc Savage. And realistically, this character has carried on for so long and has been a character that so many other creators have been fans of. Heck, for the original comic book, The Rocketeer, when Disney made their version of The Rocketeer, they had to change who the creator of the rocket was. So for the film, for Disney's film, they chose Howard Hughes.
Right.
Only because they didn't have the rights to use the original creator of the rocket, who was Doc Savage. So there are lots of fans of Doc Savage. And if you've never heard of the character, trust me, you are in for a treat, because you would not have a lot of the heroes and stuff that you have now without Doc Savage. Heck, you wouldn't even have Buckaroo Banzai. Buckaroo Banzai borrowed almost everything from Doc Savage.
Yeah, because Doc Savage was a man of all trades. I mean, he was just, there wasn't anything he didn't know how to do.
Yeah. I mean, again, Hollywood ever so often will trip into this whole thing where they do these parodies of things more famous, of whether it's a Star Trek parody movie that stars Tim Allen, or a classic 80s homage, which is really what Buckaroo Banzai was. It was an homage to that storytelling style, and specifically to the story of Doc Savage and his team as written by Lester Dent. So, hey, this is great news all the way around.
All right. Hey, man, that was a good update. We'll be back a little bit later to talk about some Mikey Sutton news. But for now, that's this episode. Thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. That's Keith.
That's Gerry.
And we're out of here. Get off our lawn.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Remember, you can find us at Pop Culture Minefield on both Facebook and Instagram. Thank you again.